Generational games like Minecraft, Fortnite, even Roblox, regardless of how you feel about it, are rare. Very rare, in fact. A good game usually hits its peak player numbers within the first month, and over the course of the following months loses 70% or so of its player base, if not more, and eventually levels out. Games that do this are considered good, successful games. Generational games shatter this ceiling. They start with low or even solid numbers sometimes, and they grow exponentially over the first several months or years, maintain that high player count for 5, 10, 15 or more years, often touting millions of active concurrent players. While nothing in life is certain, and this is only my opinion, I believe Hytale has a really good chance to be one of these games, and I'm going to lay out for you why. This will only partially be due to some of the video and images that you see running in the background during the course of the video, but largely due to Hytale's owner's strategy and freedom in executing that strategy how they want to. First, let's begin with executing on the strategy how they want to part. Hytale has zero investment. Yes, zero. It is 100% self-funded by Simon and Lyle, the two owners of Hytale. And these guys operate Hypixel Studios, the most popular Minecraft server of the last decade. They aren't business professionals themselves. They are gamers and motivated developers. With no investors requiring return on investment and no large studio above them dictating things, they are in full control. Simon has said on numerous occasions publicly, they don't care about the money. He has enough money pre and post Hytale to do whatever he wants in life already. Instead, he is fueled by passion for making a good game for gamers and modders to play and create on. And he says additional fuel gets poured on that fire every single time somebody tells him that he can't do something or doubts his ability to succeed. Many game studios create and maintain good games, but when the head of the studio is a guy in a suit looking for more money, or a group of investors you owe that money to, your entire incentive structure for every decision you make and every word you say is driven by that pressure. When you look deeper into the studio and the, I believe, almost 50 employees that he has right now, another story emerges. At least all of them that I follow or have interacted with, it's apparent this isn't just a group of employees working for a boss, clocking in their hours and calling it a day. This is a hand-picked group of people, most if not all of which already had some sort of prior rapport or relationship with Simon, and almost all of which were working on Hytale at some point during its 7-year development cycle before or after the Riot acquisition. I'll talk a little later about a planned future team being hired at Hytale, but to spoil it a little now, this team will be made up of the game's top modders and artists from the community who apply for the positions. People who play the game, love it, and have a passion for it. A team made up of this sort of mindset, in my mind, is more likely to put out great quality results than a team which is not built in this way. These things alone, though, aren't enough to make a generational game, but they are an important piece of that puzzle. I'm not going to talk much about the game itself here. There are tons of videos on my channel and others' channels talking about and showing gameplay and information about gameplay that we've received so far. Instead, I want to talk about the plan outside of just the base game's gameplay loop and the goal of this strategy. Hytale is intended to be more than just a game. It's both an engine and a platform. The way the devs have been making the game is they are using the game to make the game. That may sound confusing at first, but it's actually quite genius. Everything they add in the game, they add the tools to create that thing or experience into the game, with the only real external tool remaining being Blockbench for the models. Essentially, they have built a mod toolkit, and they are using that mod toolkit to make Hytale. Whenever they have a new thing they want to add to the game, they create a tool for it, test it to ensure that it works properly, put it in the game, and use it to develop the game. Most game studios use their own back-end development tools or code, and some of those studios will make separate mod toolkits for modders to use. In this case, the developers are providing modders with almost every tool they themselves are using. So if the dev team can do it, a modder can do it too. On top of that, the modding system they are using has a very low skill floor while maintaining a decently high skill ceiling. You don't need to know a programming language to make mods in Hytale. They are using a visual node-based system for these modded experiences to be created with. So when I mentioned earlier how they add a new modding feature when they themselves need them, This often results in new nodes being created that anybody can use. Now, I'll admit I'm no modder or coding expert myself, so I don't want to sound ignorant here. But to my understanding, people that do know how to code, I believe, will be able to insert their own code or scripts into new nodes that they create. And they can add new capabilities to the system too, although maybe not to the same degree that the game developers can. This will be a way for experienced programmers to get even more out of modding than what is natively available. To accompany the fact that modding is going to be easier to do, it's also going to be more accessible. Hytale is going to have both a server and mods browser built into the game. Servers being available day one, mod browser coming soon. Modders are allowed to host their mods on their own sites, on sites like CurseForge, Picnic, or Unified Hytale, or in-game. Modders will be able to sell their mods if they want to, and as far as we know, Hytale will not be taking a percentage cut of this. Hytale is trying to create an ecosystem in which modders can make money for their mods without selling them. The in-game browser will likely have methods built in for people to donate directly to modders or donate monthly to them voluntarily, despite the mods being free for all to use. And there's some other methods that modders will be able to earn that I have heard from the team that I'm not allowed to say at this time, as these unannounced things may change. You're also going to have monetized public servers browsable in-game too. Hytale is going to allow these servers to monetize in pretty much any way that they want, and will primarily police a self-rating system to ensure players know 100% what they are getting into with the server. So if a server wants to have play-to-win monetization, that's fine. But it will be labeled as such so you, the player, can decide if you do or do not want to engage with that type of server. Lastly, a short note, Hytale as an engine and platform can easily handle and will continue to expand its ability to break outside of the blocky game genre that Hytale is, that sandbox, survival, RPG style game. We saw an example of this posted by Simon the other day of a mod made by a Hytale team member in their spare time, but Hytale will likely be able to support everything from RPG, ARPG, RTS, FPS, and many other game genres outside of them. So when you look at this part of the picture, you have an engine and a platform with a low barrier of entry, meaning more people are going to be able to get into modding and operating servers. You have an in-game browser, meaning players don't have to ever leave the game to find these experiences or download third-party launchers to be able to enjoy them. You have modding capable enough to make games that sit 100% outside of the core game genre of Hytale and be their own thing. All of this is going to lead to prolonged player interest, including the ones that for their own reasons and interests don't like or get tired of the base vanilla gameplay that Hytale has to offer. More on that a little bit though. Not to mention the server and minigame system, where online and competitive games keep a different group of people engaged in ways that maybe the core game cannot or does not. Lastly, I don't want you to sleep on the core game either. And while I said I wasn't going to talk much about it, I am going to talk about the core game's future. Let me read you this paragraph from Simon posted in the World Gen V2 blog post. With that in mind, I'm pleased to announce that we're planning to expand the Hytale team with a new job role that, for the most part, has not existed in block-based games before: World Designer. Following the early access release, we plan to expand our team by hiring more than 15 world designers. These roles will be filled primarily from the community as artists and game designers learn and build using the same tools we use internally and choose to apply. So, a world designer team of 15 plus people that are filled in from the community. And in case you're curious about what this position pays, Simon has said online between $80,000 and $100,000 a year.
Wow.
This position is also remote, no relocation required. Now, why does Hytale need a world designer team this large? That is in this next paragraph I'll quote. We are intentionally expansive, just as we envisioned years ago. Beyond Orbis, which by the way, Orbis is like your main world that you play in the game, we plan to explore alternate worlds, new dimensions, and entirely different spaces. These worlds give us room to introduce new blocks, items, prefabs, zones, regions, biomes, NPCs, quests, stories, and gameplay system. So when I read this, this is what I hear. Hytale, the base game, has the ability to expand and add in new worlds, which we actually knew was a possibility before, but is now all but confirmed. and lets us know that this concept art graphic may become a reality. But what we didn't know before this statement is how much more we would get. Many may have seen this graphic and thought of a single or multi-biome world with a couple new enemies and blocks. Simon mentioned in that post I just read new blocks, items, prefabs, zones, regions, biomes, NPCs, quests, stories, and gameplay systems. Me, that means one of these new worlds or dimensions could have just as much content as Orbis does. We can only guess how this would work. Is it progression from one world to another, or can I just pick to start in one of these other planets or dimensions instead, then freely travel? Or might we see entirely new games inside of Hytale? Imagine if Minecraft Dungeons had just been made inside of Minecraft and was part of the base game and launched like it's just a different game mode. We don't know exactly what they will do, but we do have an idea of the possibilities on how far they can go with it. So when I add all of these things together, the drive and determination of the team, the modding / server strategy of being an engine and a platform for creators, and the endless possibilities they have for the base game or even spin-off game modes they could do, this all together tells me that while nothing is certain, there is a very strong possibility that Hytale will be a generational game, one that we are playing 15 to 20 years from now and grows in popularity over those years.
It's been 84 years.
If you're ready to take this long ride with me, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any content, and join me on stream here or on Twitch at Prowl8413 to be part of the discussion. Tell YouTube you like this video by clicking like and dropping a comment below letting me know if you agree or disagree with my assessment and why. I'm open to the conversation and enjoy having it. And finally, if you're going to buy Hytale or anything in game, using code Prowl8413 helps support my Hytale content, and I'd be grateful if you used it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in Orbis. Bye-bye.